Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Well, hello. I am Bullhorn Betty. We are covering the case of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old grandmother ripped out of her bed in the middle of the night by a masked gunman. And all of these days later, she still has not been found. And I believe, what is today, like 34, day 34, if I'm not mistaken, day 33, she was ripped out of her bed. On February 1st, the early morning hours between 1:30 and 2 a.m., we have movement about 1:47, but we don't know if that truly is the only movement that happened at that house. That's what law enforcement is telling us. And a few of the family members came under heavy scrutiny during this case. Her daughter, Annie, and her husband, Tommaso, being the last people that saw her before she disappeared, and prior to us realizing there was a masked gunman at her house in the wee hours of morning, many people thought they were responsible for some type of inheritance or financial problems. But those doesn't appear to be too fruitful. And so now those investigations have gone outward. It seems to us like we are at square one in the Nancy Guthrie case, unfortunately. And as many of you know, that is not necessarily the case with Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie had a pacemaker. Her daughter, her son, her other daughter, they've been in town for a while. There's been a signal sniffer making patterns all over this area trying to locate her pacemaker. All resources pushed at this case on a local, state, or federal level, from everything we know, hasn't produced results in the Nancy Guthrie case. And it has been mind-boggling, to say the least. We've watched this case turn into a circus with ransom notes that we all believe never quite came from the person that took Nancy. And we're scratching our heads wondering, who could this masked man be? Why were they there? Is there something more going on? We all believe there is. Many of us have been told by people like criminologists and other media that this might be a burglary or robbery gone wrong. And we're looking at the statistical anomalies and just the plain old statistics related to robbery. And I'm sorry, no matter how much we try to make this particular case fit, it just does not. It doesn't fit in any particular way. So we're just trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to go through, say hi, and then we're going to start jumping into the case. And right now, one of the questions is that everybody has been asking is whether or not the assailant has gone back to the scene of the crime in the Nancy Guthrie case. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Are you guys seeing and hearing okay? I just want to get a sound check. And then I don't know why anyone has started lifting up manhole covers in the immediate subdivision since she hasn't been found. You mean, has it started lifting them up? Because, you know, they did search the one. No way it's a robbery. Okay, I can see you. Yeah, that sounds logical to me. So we really still, even after all this time, 33 or 34 days later, we don't really have a clue what we're technically dealing with here in the Nancy Guthrie case. Let me ask this, because we're going to probably open up the phones. Oh, I forgot to set up the phones. We'll have to set up the phones on the fly. But I think I'm going to go ahead and set up the phones for today, because I kind of want to know what your perspective is. I'm hitting a wall here. You know, we kind of go down different angles. Like, this does feel a little personal, but why does it feel personal? Is it because of stalker? Because, that we have to consider, sorry, I got to get a drink. We have to consider Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie, well known. Even if something happened to my mom, we'd have to consider it, because you guys watched me in real time go through a lot of scary stuff here just by being a content creator on this platform. I can't imagine being at the level of, say, Savannah Guthrie. It'd be a little scary that, you have these stalkers, these people that want harm to you just for being who you are. It's the most insane thing. But like I said, we've got a lot of sick people in this country, and we have to acknowledge that. But, Nancy Guthrie, was this, a targeted attack? And I get so sick, and you guys hear me all the time when we go over a new case and they start telling us, oh, there's no, threat to the public. It's like, how do you know that? Like, right now we're looking at you guys clearing the family, which this really looked good for the family. You're telling us it's not the family. So now we're looking at the idea of, some guy, some armed masked, monster ripping grandmothers out of their bed in the middle of the night. What do you mean there's no threat to the immediate public? Like, I would think that is a very big threat to the public. Like, they did this in the Brian Koberger, and you guys know. I mean, I was trying to keep, fear down. And I wasn't even kicking up a fuss, with them, because I can only imagine how parents must have felt. They have this quadruple homicide just on the outskirts of campus. Nobody knows who did it, and your child's like thousands of miles away from home. We couldn't really discuss excuse me, we really couldn't discuss a whole lot, because at that point we were just trying to keep the fear factor down for the parents, because what do you do in a situation? We're out there, we're kind of scared. I won't lie to you, me and Olivia, we were kind of spooked with the whole, we got comfortable with the area because there was so much law enforcement out. And that's what we tried to show, anybody that was tuning in, is that there's a lot of law enforcement. There was one freaking corner that we could turn around that there wasn't a law enforcement body there. And so we were like, nothing more. We've got a lot of law enforcement, so your children are safe. But even there, I almost wanted to come out of my skin. It's like, we don't know who this is. And I can tell you, as soon as I got to 1122 King Road, any friend of theirs, anybody that was goofy, that went to school with them, those were gone. Like, they weren't even, I went straight to my phone and I'm like, whatever we're thinking it is just the opposite. We're not even looking at the right person. I can tell you that. Because this, when you really get the feel of this and just how brutal this was, you knew you were dealing with a sick SOB. Okay? And there was not one person anybody brought up that came to that level of sick SOB. So I knew as soon as I saw this house. I knew. And so when we go to this Nancy Guthrie's house, it seemed like until we saw that masked gunman, it was hands down, Annie and Tommaso. They fit the bill. They fit the statistical makeup of what we were looking for. And because we never believed in the bumps that, the bumps in the middle of the night, we weren't believing that for this case. Let's be honest. We were not believing that. How many agree with me? We were not believing that this was the case of the year. So give me just a second. Let me do something here real quick. I think I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phones and get us start talking. What do I have here for the stuff for We already went through that with the girls. So there's been a lot of different theories that come to fruition. Okay, a lot of theories that come to fruition. The first are not that don't have it come to fruition. Excuse me. Sorry, my brain's not right there. There's been a few theories that have come up, none that have come to fruition. And now we're hearing some ex-FBI agents starting to maybe float around different theft rinks. So we're hearing that it's possible that there is this Chilean or whatever, however you pronunciate it, this theft ring that may be responsible. So I just thought this was interesting. It's a theory. It's not a fact, folks. So don't take it as a fact. It's just a theory when it comes to this case. What we're trying to determine in this is, did the guy come back to the scene of the crime? And the reason why many people believe he came back to the scene of the crime is because somebody tried to destroy the memorial, and somebody actually was so angry it looked like the flowers that were picked up and thrown about might have been the sunflowers that were brought by Savannah, Annie, and Tommaso. So is this a little closer? And I gotta tell you, we've discussed the person being somewhere in that community. And there's a lot of reasons why I feel that this person was comfortable with that, is because I'm hearing that Nancy's house is not off the beaten path. Or is off the beaten God, I'm mixing up my words so bad. Is off the beaten path. That she's not off a main thoroughfare or artery or anything like that. It takes a lot of winding back in the community to go find her house. It sounds like all these roads are kind of just split and dead end. It sounds like, in all fairness, the way it's described to me, poor planning, poor road planning, poor everything planning. And when there's not a whole lot of people sitting on top of each other, that really doesn't matter. But at some point, Arizona is going to get full, just like the rest of the country gets full, and they're going to have to deal with this piss poor planning. I can tell you, I have never seen roads so confusing in my life, and it seems like all they keep doing is just adding and just making it work. This doesn't seem like it's very good public planning. I mean, that's a governmental issue. I deal with planning stuff all the time for this county. That's where I'm at on Thursdays, the land use meetings. That's the planning of this county, where things go and how much of stuff can be put in one area, and what is our infrastructure and stuff like that. Their infrastructure is good because there's not a whole lot of people. They have huge lots out there, and it's huge lots for miles and miles and miles. It seems like everybody out there has a really, really large size lot. I so far don't really see a whole lot of people stacked on top of one another out there, So a retired FBI agent floats the link between the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie and a Chilean theft ring. Jennifer Coffindaffer wrote on X that the number of individuals tied to the ring were charged with many high-profile burglars of athletes like Travis Kelce. Is that right? is that Kelsey? That were, I don't know a whole lot of athletes anymore, that were tracking. And she went on to point out that such rings were still operating in wealthy residential areas like the one Guthrie lives in. So is this something where this rink, they had to remove her because they didn't want anybody disrupting their rink? I would have expected to see more people on the outside of that house if it was a Chilean rink. Obvious and visible, like to the point where the law enforcement wouldn't be saying there it's possible that there was multiple people there. You know, that's what we're getting right now, is it's possible that there's you know, that there was multiple people. A Chilean burglary or robbery rink or whatever it is, you know, gang that goes around to these rich areas, I think it would have been obvious that there was multiple people. And listen to this. There's other things that I don't think I brought it up, and we might do that in real time while we're here. It is Luke. Remember how somebody said somebody's hand was injured? When we saw this person reaching down and grabbing the stuff? Somebody pointed out how injured one of his hands and how swollen one of his hands were in an interview. We need to look at that. Let me see if I've got that here. I want to look at that. That is creepy, because here's why. If true, we have a person that everybody said appeared to have an injured hand on the outside of Nancy's house. This man is trying to act like he had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And we're going to get into another point at the internet outage. Don't think I forgot about that. We haven't forgotten about that. Let me find out where my stuff is for the show. Hold on a second. I'm almost positive I sent it to myself. It was that important. So I've got several things here. So let me pull this up. Make sure it's not going to...
Hey guys, so something new and interesting in the Nancy Guthrie story.
Okay, you guys heard that voice. Even though you guys can't see it, you know who that voice was. If you guys heard it. I don't know if you guys can hear it when it's on that side since it's not plugged in. But I surely can. Let's see what this Facebook is. Yes. Here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. Everybody kept saying that it appeared. Let's go to the FBI thing. Hold on here. Let's do this. Let's do this stuff. If we're going to be here, let's do it, right? Let's do it. So let's go over here. Oh, shit. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Sorry, Kirky Man. I see you're in the chat. In just a second, I'm going to say hi to all of you. I haven't had an opportunity to say hi to all of you just yet. So give me a moment. Let me close this down. Maybe I shouldn't let you guys... I'm just letting it all hang out here. Let me just put back up here and get where I need to be, and then we'll... We had the FBI, and I want the FBI. Where's the FBI stuff? Where's the FBI stuff? There it is. Okay. So I think it was this one. No, that was when he already had... let's go down to the next one. This one. When... They said it appeared that the right hand, the way he's holding the right hand, that the right hand was injured. That it appeared he was holding the right hand as if it was injured. And look how he's pulling down. He's not really using his right hand. He's using his left. So, you know, why is that important? I'm not even looking at the chat here. Let me just go back to the chat. Yeah, why hasn't the FBI taken the rug doormat out of it? Which is really weird, because that doormat might have had some trace on it from the since they see the blood around. I don't know why they didn't take the mat I've always been told you take everything. You allow the labs determine what they can test for and what they can't, but you collect everything. And so having those blood drops out there, having that mat still out there, and even having that we didn't understand what those when Brian Enton went up there for the first time, we didn't understand what those we saw like plants, and that's what made everybody think that somebody may have went up there with plants and rang the doorbell for a delivery, and that may have overpowered her. Like, we were going through a lot of different theories when we were in the unknown phase. We just knew this woman was missing from her home. We didn't really realize under what circumstances she was missing from, and so we were doing that. But I think it's quite interesting because there's been multiple people that told me that that's his right hand specifically. We had somebody call in here, and I can't remember who it was. It might even have been Tom used to come here, and I don't remember where Tom is now, but Tom was making his rounds, and I think it might have been him talking about how he believes that it was, I could be wrong, so I apologize. But it sounded like, I remember somebody saying it had to do with the hand. The hand was hurt. The right hand up here's hurt. Look how puffy his right hand is. That is one puffy right hand. That is one puffy right hand. I still haven't turned the phones on, but I haven't said hello to anybody yet. So let me just say hello to everybody. Let me come down a little further because we've already been yapping for a little while. So we'll start at Turkey Man, loud and clear. How's all the beans? It's nice to see you. Yeah, real scary stuff. It is real scary stuff. And it kind of upsets me a little bit because, again, I get so, it frustrates me so to hear officers, and I understand they don't want to alarm the public, but when you have a homicide, that's going to alarm the public anyways. You might as well be honest with them, right? You're either in danger or you're not. If you don't know what happened and you don't know who did it, then anybody can be in danger. Quit. People rely on law enforcement. When law enforcement says there's no danger to the public, the public relies on that. And what if there is danger to the public and you just didn't want to scare them? And now you have another victim because everybody thought it was fine. Then you're going to have a major everybody's going to be scared if something happens to a second person. So I always believe vigilance and saying, look, we don't know what happened here. I can't tell you that this was targeted, and I can't tell you nobody else is at risk. All I can say is that I don't believe that you're in harm's way, but be vigilant. Vigilance is going to be the key to this. Like, I would love to hear that being said by more law enforcement because it's protecting them. Because I truly feel if law enforcement tells you you're safe and there's no threat to you and you get injured because of that statement, I think you should be able to sue them because they put you in harm's way. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel. It's just the way I feel. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Be Betty fan, good afternoon. Hello, Denise, Tammy, V, Oakley, it's nice to see you. Baby Love, Mike, good afternoon. It's nice to see you. Aletha, good afternoon. Who else? Let them 66. It's nice to see you, Mike. My pit bull in Chihuahua would let me know if someone Delilah. It's kind of funny because she kind of is quiet for the most part. I mean, she's a Chihuahua. You'd think that she's like this ankle biter, like she barks at everything. She doesn't, but she is very, very overprotective of the house. So, like, she loves Glenn. And if he knocks on the door or even comes in, because occasionally I'll be like at a meeting and I need him to come and take her out, or he'll bring, like, I'll have a package out the front door and he'll need to bring something in, and she might be inside, even though she knows she won't hurt her. As soon as he opens the door, he's like, she just, rah, 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 even though she knows Glenn. And she's very, very, very protective of the house. So I get it. And I know that she, even when there's like wind, if there's too much wind outside, she lets me know it. She's a good little fighter of crime. Heather, it's nice to see you. Good afternoon. Oh, Keith, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. Who else do we have? Tammy, hello. I Spy. There is a couple of guys that stole gold from a store. I found it on Facebook in Tucson. I sent a picture to the FBI. Let them know if you want to see the photo. The guy was in the same jacket. Ooh, I Spy. Of course, I'd want to see that. Ooh, that sounds like it's right up my alley. I'd love to see that. Carol, it's nice to see you. I hope you are doing well. John, hello. Amber, it's nice to see you. Good afternoon. Deanna, hello. Debbie, Phil, it's nice to see you. Danielle, hello. Hello. Our ex-neighbor had one, and that damn dog would not stay on his side of the street. Bit my feet. Listen, baby love. When Delilah was a puppy, I thought my dog was, even though they didn't get my dog, they ended up getting me. She was just a little, she's a tiny little dog, but she wasn't even tinier than that. She was like this big, okay? She was just tiny. She was the cutest little damn thing. I gotta be honest with you. That dog was so stinking cute. She still is stinking cute. She still has that stupid baby face, that just suckers me into everything. Just suckers me in. Oh, I sent that to you. Okay, I'll have to look at give me just a second. I have to look at my email here in just a second. And the dogs across the street have bitten me before, but they bit me. One of them bruised me, and this was years ago. And then just the other day, not the other day, but prior to this event, I can't remember how long ago it was, but prior to this event, I do remember she was just a tiny little thing. She was only like 2 months, 3 months old. And this dog was loose and came over and tried to attack her. And I got in between it, and I remember her eyes just popped out. She squealed so loud. Oh my God, it broke my heart. She has always looked over her back because she was just getting ready to sit down and use the potty. And this dog, and it was a long-haired Chihuahua. And I ended up calling because the dog had already came over to my side, and the guy was outside mowing his yard, and I'm sitting there like screaming, and he couldn't hear me, and he finally looks over and sees his dog's like trying to attack me. And I'm like, get your MFing dog off my property, And then when that happened, I was, to be honest with you guys, and God forgive me, but if that dog had lunged at me one more time, it was going to be a dead dog. I'm just letting you know. That dog was lucky it went straight to the house. I threw my dog in. My dog had messed all over herself. It scared her so bad, so I had to give her a bath. It was a traumatic experience. I called law enforcement, and when they came home, they'd get out of the vehicle. They just let their dogs out the front door and just let them run wild. They were aggressive and nasty to other neighbors, and they knew this. You don't leave dogs like that outside, just running loose. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But either way, the dogs are still there. The state or the county didn't take them, but they basically told them if this happens again, they're gone. And so they have to keep you out on a leash at this point. The county even took both the dogs and quarantined them for 10 days before they gave them back. They were without their dogs for 10 days. So just be careful, But anyways, let's get back to the show. So it's nice to see everyone. Downey, it's nice to see you. Rimas, it's nice. Hopefully I said that correctly. If not, try to pronunciate it for me. Valerie, it's nice to see you. Thank you, Eeyore. Thank you. Let me see did we have some? We got cards tonight, guys. We haven't done cards in a while, so I figured we can do cards here. Ooh, we got a few. Ooh. Holy cow. Batman, 17 months. 17 months. Let's give you a round of applause. she put up with my bull for 17 months. Good gracious. I thought we had a birthday I was supposed to sing for and never sung for. Where's I'm getting my more buttons going, because this ain't no...
This fake news was indeed fake news.
This ain't no fake news. Oh, Amber, thank you. Appreciate that love. Melanie, I want to say thank you for everything you do for the missing. You are the best. Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let's see what we're going to do for you. What are we going to do for you? Let's go with inner peace. Did we like inner peace last time? I know the spiritual ones are funny, but let me just pull these out. Let's see what we got here. We got one. Oh, these are the ones. These are the ones that I like. These got the cool little stuff on the front of them. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this says, chop wood, carry vodka. I don't know if that's the best for our channel or not. Cheers to enjoying life. You are welcome. You are welcome. I don't think she drinks. Dance in the storm. Dance in the storm. I love it. I love it. Dance in the storm. I can't say this word. Sonia will get mad at me. So I'll just put there. It just says, yeah. That's all I can say. Sonia in the chat. Am I allowed to get? Oh, that's right. The Turkey Man's in the chat. We gotta save the ears. We have our chaperones in the channel. We gotta be good. Bye bye. Ooh, dumb butt and BS. I can't say it. It says, hello to Sea of Tranquility. I like these. I do like these. It says, give me Nirvana, I can dance to. And it says, like no one's watching, or if they are, give it up. Love it. Make me one with everything. He was frank with me. These are just goofy. Thank you. All right, who else do we have? Deanna, we got you for holy cow, 17 months. Well, bless you, my child. Do we need to send you to therapy yet? Oh, okay, Eeyore, what do you want? You're up next. What do you want? We've got affirmations of a badass. We've got spiritual AF. We've got hope and happiness. We already did inner peace, so I'm not going to do that one again. And crush your goals cards. We've got these, and we got these right here, and I don't know which ones to call these. Always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. I don't think anybody's done this one yet. So those are the options you have. Let me know what you want. Let me get over here to this side so I can see what you want, and then we'll do yours, and then we'll get back to the show. Something fun you can pick. Okay, let's do spiritual AF. You can handle spiritual AF. Or affirmation. See, I like the affirmations, but we'll do spiritual AF. Oops. Is Miss Grave Crime with Grace? I've got your pins right here, and I've got my return envelope right here. I never made it to the thing. I'm gonna make it to it tomorrow or Monday, so you might not get it until Wednesday. I'm sorry, everything kind of got behind me, but I haven't even changed my oil yet. So I guess on Monday morning I'm gonna be getting out. I'll do my show here Monday morning, and then we'll go and figure it out. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is that right? All right, there we go. We'll do 5. There you go. We got your 5. We're doing spiritual AF, and it says, let me make sure I got the right side. What side do I need to read? Okay, here it is. Pretty lengthy. Did I get 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you want to be a bad ass. Show your heart to everyone. And it says, it takes a lot of courage to be authentic in this world. Showing your heart doesn't mean you're soft at all, or that you're a hot mess or a doormat. It means you're showing up fully as yourself. You know what's weak? You know what's weak AF? Living a fake A life and trying to please others. Ooh, I love that. Can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get an let them 66 once a piece? What do you want? Oh, you want the spiritual ones, I'm sure. I know what you want. No equals a full sentence. If you guys don't understand that, no equals a full sentence. That means all you got to say is nope. Nope. And it says, you know what punctuates that sentence? Action. We spend so much time explaining our boundaries that we forget just to say F boundary. Just say no. Quit participating in what you said no to. Remove yourself from the situation if you have to. Be your own boundary. Ooh, I do like these. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Quit dimming your light for people with shitty A mindsets. Ooh, I guess I said the S word. I might as well said the A word. Sorry. You've got that dream, huh? That thing that you think you may be able to do, but it may be too big, maybe too much of a short shot. Maybe you'll look stupid for trying to do it. Just do it. Seriously, think about lying on your deathbed saying, I never went for it because I was afraid Susan would talk crap about me. Susan talked crap about me anyways. Then do you bigger. That's what I'm talking about, right? If you live your life around other people, what does it matter? They're still going to talk crap about you. Live your life on your terms. Maybe you just need to shake your booty. Maybe you just need to shake your booty. Life throws out very few problems that aren't more easily managed after you dance it out a bit. Think you're a bad dancer? Stop that stuff right now. Just stand up and get your groove thing and a jiggle here and a jingle there and a jingle, jingle, jingle everywhere. It's 98.5% scientifically proven to make you take you take yourself less seriously. Quit being so hard on yourself and stop saying yes to crap you hate. It's a green card, but let me move it over here. It does say it. We say yes to dumb stuff because we want to be cool, caretake others. Why does it say caretake? To take care, caretake? Never heard of that word before. It says to caretake. Caretake others. And because we think we need a reason to say no, the people we say no to may never understand why we needed to say no in order to be true to ourselves. You don't even have to know why you said yes in the past. Don't get stuck in the process spiral about it. Whatever. This is not making sense to me. Sorry about that. If you're not into it, just stop saying yes and move the F on. Okay, there you go. Thank you. And we have one more, guys. Do we have one more? Yep, one more. And then we'll be over. We'll be back on the show. Sorry, we need some gratitude. Every now and again, we just get lost in the show and never have any type of gratitude. So we're going to go to hope and happiness. Hope and happiness. That's where we're at. That's where we're at for Let Them 66. Let Them 66. You get 5 cards. You get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Okay, here we go. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desire of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. Psalms 37:4-5. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. John 11:25. If you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Romans 10:9. Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. James 1:12. And lastly, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorned its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Hebrews 12:2. So I think we were uplifted no matter which side of the coin you flip. We were uplifted in all different ways, from funny to spiritual to just a little raunchy, just a tad bit. Nothing too bad. Just something to lift our spirits. Just a little something. Okay, my cards were perfect. I am so happy. I'm so happy. I liked them. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. So now let's get back to Nancy Guthrie's case. We have a situation here where we've been looking at a lot of people as possible suspects or persons of interest. We learned, we never quite understood why Luke was targeted. But we can't miss the fact that his right hand looks pretty stinking swollen here and a little deformed, which is kind of what we were seeing with that plastic glove thing. But here in a situation, what do we have here? What do we truly have? We have a man that obviously got the attention of law enforcement. He's trying to make us believe he's been out of trouble all this time. Well, then why is law enforcement up his craw? I haven't had problems with law enforcement in a really long time. Really long time. So I'm sorry. I've never had a knock at my door. There's been a lot of crimes that have happened in my area. I don't know of any grandmothers in my community that have been ripped out of their bed in the middle of the night. We don't have those kind of problems, but we have crime. I have never been swept up in there because they think, oh my gosh, oh, Betty, change your ways. I mean, there's got to be something that provided some path forward, and he was there. Why was he by Nancy's house? He got picked up in some type of data sweep. A lot of people looked at his facial structure. Now, I don't think he really looks too much like the sketch artist. We had a very well-renowned sketch artist that has worked, she's retired, but she's worked with law enforcement for something like 20 or 30 years doing this type of work, where she takes a masked individual and she looks at very specific points, bone structure points. That over, experience, you're skilled, this is a skilled job. It's not something that everybody could do. And she was very good at what she does. And she created this sketch. And I got to be honest with you, sketch looks nothing like Luke. And I have to trust her ability to see what we can't, because she is so well renowned in her gift of doing this, that I have to think that in part at minimum, and I just realized I had, hold on here, let me get my green screen. I got my green screen cutting into his hand just a tad bit, make it a little weird thing. There we go. Gone. Okay, perfect. So we have, I have to trust the people that do that kind of work. I don't expect it to be spot on, but it gives us a good, clear imagery of what we believe. Yeah, I believe he shaved too, because we saw that picture, dude. I don't know if you guys remember. Let's see if we can see. What is that? Range Rover. Hold on. Okay. Where is the picture of him? We saw him in a photo that News Nation or somebody had. Detainee. Let me see if I can do this. Detainee. Oh, they're not showing him. Hold on, I need to look at Keith's. Hold on, where's my... Do I not have my cell phone in here? Dad burn it. Okay, let me go to my email real quick. I gotta look at my email. I think Keith said he sent me something. There's something. Post on X. Yes. Oh. So this might be that, so they're saying, did anyone ever figure out who these two guys are that stole stuff at the TUCSON gym show? So we have these people here. Look at their bodies. Huh, interesting. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it looks like you guys can see that. There you go. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, so let me go back over here. So we have some new update. We have, this potential of being part of this Chilean, crime ring that maybe Jennifer Coffindaffer is discussing. It looks like maybe this might be what she is referring to in part. I'm unsure. I'm assuming. So please bear with me. I apologize for assuming, but I'm assuming here. And then we've got the DNA. It's been 32 days ago. The DNA analysis of the glove, as many of you guys know, did not turn out well. We ultimately found out that it appeared that it was a local worker. Oh, there's the photo. There's the sketch right. Oops, sorry. There's the sketch right there. That's the sketch right there that they produced. And quite frankly, this does not look to me. Well, I really feel like Luke Daly changed his appearance, because I remember we saw the guy that was detained, not a good front view of the guy that was detained. That's why I was shocked, because when I heard that the guy and the mother came out of the house, I thought that was Luke, and they were telling me no, that was his younger brother Matthew. So his younger brother Matthew and his mom were at the home when law enforcement came there to execute a search warrant, and he was around the corner, probably most likely getting dinner for the family or something like that at the Culvers, unless he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing at the Culvers, which I don't know. But I do remember him having facial hair, dark black facial hair. And then the next time we seen him, he was shaved up like some of the images that they were using to show that he would fit. So you could kind of see, like over here. Oh, you can't see. You can only see this, and it's going to get off. But like right here, you see. There it is. You see the black. It looks like a mustache and beard. So you see how it looks right over here. So that's kind of I don't know if this looks the sketch from the renowned sketch artist looks like Luke Daly, but it might if Luke Daly had facial hair, because I remember very, very specifically looking at a dude that had facial hair, stuff here and stuff here, and what we're looking at on here. And just a few moments ago, let me go back to it, is a man that has no facial hair, that has cleaned his appearance up. And I never like hearing somebody cleaning their appearance up. We never got to see his face before, when he was released. They never took a mugshot of him at the time he was there. Now, I'm not trying to say this man did anything. I'm just pointing out what people are pointing out online, because we've never heard the sheriff clear this guy. And when we look at a situation like we have with this image in the back, which I believe in this image in the back, right here. And I'm sorry, when you look at that, right here, that looks like the Range Rover. This looks like the tires right here. Right, back toward me, there we go. This looks like the front end of the Range Rover here. This looks like the light right here. And this was further, behind him. So you can kind of see right over here. If I can move, I don't think I can expand. I can move me, but I can't expand it. There we go. Right here, that's where this is at. There's that spot that we're seeing right here. See that light right there? See how that looks right there? This is what you're seeing kind of right here in the distance. Right there is those lights. That's reflection from the, it looks like from the front headlights. That it's, you know, some radiant light that it's picking up, but that looks like a Range Rover. And I think that that's why they pulled it over, because the first guy, Carlos, his rims did not look like this. This looks like low profile tires. And if I'm not mistaken, that looked like what he had on his Range Rover was those low profile tires. And if you don't know what low profile tires, you kind of have these big rims and the tires are not very thick on top of them. Like normal tires, when you have rims, sit about this tall, you know, from the time where the rim is, you have about this much air in them. On a low profile tire, you have about this much peeking out past the rim, not this much. So it's a low profile tire. And that looks like what we're dealing with here. So I'm not convinced just yet that Luke Daly is not where was that? Oh no, did I lose it? I did lose it. Did I accidentally? I bet you I did. Shit. Damn it. I lost my, hold on. Sorry, excuse my language. I lost my my Luke Daly photo. Hold on a second, let me find it. History. I think it's this one. No, it's not. Dad, burn it. Give me a second. Heather, Luke. Yeah, but it was bigger. It was bigger than that. Yeah. These images. Yeah. Let me download these and then I'll put them up. Give me just a second. But even his facial hair was thicker than that. And it was jet black, if I remember. It was like literally jet black. Let me find that. Let me find the one with Luke's show. Which one was it? Here it is. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, we found it. Let it load. There it is. So now we have this injury. And I can't remember who said that whenever this, or it appears to be an injury here. I mean, his hand is visibly swollen here. The other side doesn't appear to be that, but this one appears to be that. And the reason why this caught my attention, folks, again, it comes down to the fact that somebody, when we were playing the video from the FBI of this man picking up the shrubbery. This is right here. Look at how big this hand is. This is his right hand. So he's turning around like this and trying to lift up. So this, if you look at, this is his right hand. So his right hand's kind of coupled, okay? His right hand's coupled this way. And you can see he can't really close it. We thought it was weird how he was holding his hand like this and we didn't understand it. This is his right hand, okay? This is his right hand. And I think that's super important because look how he's holding his hand. And everybody says it looks like he has a hand injury, a right hand injury. I remember somebody calling into our show. Keith, I think you might have been here when that happened. But somebody called into our show and said that they believe that he has an injury on his right hand. I remember that. I don't remember who it was. I remember it was on this show. And I remember this was when it was one of our, I want to say it was one of our phone days. Oh, my poor little nose. Oh, it's peeling. It's finally peeling. My poor little nose. Sorry, I had, from coming back from Tennessee, my nose just dripped and dripped and dripped. And no matter how much, and my nose has been peeling. And I feel like the last little bit of peel just came off. Mothra, it's nice to see you. Hopefully I said your name right. Mothra? Mike? Says the mustache goatee is 28 to 35 years of age. Yeah. And I believe that. I do believe that. Right hand had issue, slight cleft lip scar, potentially. Down, he said. And why is nobody really worrying or paying attention to that? We never even talked about the tattoo anymore. What about the tattoo? Remember the possible tattoo that we saw under the right hand? Ooh, let's go back to his hand and see if we see a tattoo on it. Ooh, 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 ooh. He's wearing long sleeve shirts. He's wearing long sleeve shirts, and it's hot as shit. It's hot as shit out there. Guys, this might be a key clue. He's certainly hiding his arms. What if it truly is him? I'm sorry. This is like bugging me a little bit. We do have, let's go to, didn't he just give an interview? Does he fit? I think he does. Yes, the coat has black star on his upper left. Coat has a black star on the upper left. Are you talking about the coat that he was wearing? If there was a black star, it's covered up by the backpack. But look how he's holding his hand. He can't even quite close his hand. I think he's got a hand injury. And people had said that. Does the pack photo have a star? You know what was weird is I don't think we saw that on the FBI. I think Cash Patel or these are the ones, and they removed that that secondary photo. Hey Julia, who is this guy? That's Luke. He has worn many of them on those hot days while drinking Red Bull. 0, and you can see the black star. 5 foot 10 inches, Baby Love says. Kayla Daly and Kiki are exhibitionists, are connected and possibly tomato to my, what does it mean by tomato to my understanding? I guess I'm old. I don't understand all that young lingo with the tomatoes and what is the tomato supposed to mean, and I'm just not there. Hey Barbara, it's nice to see you. Does not look like the guy in the mask. And that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm not sure how I feel, but it is the right height. And somebody did take the masks and put Daly's face, like did some type of merging thing, and quite frankly his jawline kind of fit in my I don't think it's Tommaso. I'm kind of with law enforcement on that. It's going to take it's going to take a lot to get me back onto Tommaso, at this point. When they stopped him and questioned him, he had facial hair. Yes, he did. And he changed his appearance. And this is clear. We're seeing a very clear injury on that right hand. That right hand is swollen. You can see both hands here. You can see that this right here is very much swollen, and probably would prevent him from being able to close his hand like he probably wanted to. That's why he could only do this, because look how swollen that hand is. He wouldn't have been able to close this hand. He still can't even close this hand. This is interesting. And for him to be wearing this really, really heavy, and look how tight those are around his wrists. He wants to make sure nobody sees those wrists. I want to see, where's that interview? I want to see if he was in a short sleeve shirt for that interview. Luke Daly interview. That's why I'm putting, okay, what did Aletha say? Oh, for Tommaso. Okay, now I understand the lingo. Okay, so now I know what tomato means, Tommaso. It's hard sometimes on this show, okay? We try, right? This is a true crime show. I understand we should not be hysterically laughing, but that did make me laugh. I am so sorry. I agree, those hands match. I know. I don't know, guys. I'm not jiving. with this just yet. Let's see what we got here.
Many people have believed that you are the person on the surveillance video, the abductor, the masked person.
Look what he's
Is that
wearing.
you?
It's not me. I don't see the resemblance of it looking like me.
And he is so clean shaved. So clean shaved. And it looks like he's wearing the exact same outfit as we've got here. Interesting. The exact same outfit. So the way I'm looking at it is he was at his attorney's office when he was giving this interview, and this where they're pointing out his hands are in the same time frame as this interview was given. And yes, he did absolutely shave. Does anyone know when his car was wrecked? That's a great question. I heard that it was wrecked weeks before because when the car was ultimately towed, if I recall correctly, somebody was at. I think I was watching the live out there at the time, and if I recall correctly, JLR was there, and some people came up and handed him a chair. And while they were there, they're like, "Oh, we just went by there, and Luke's car's being towed." And I remember him looking at these people, and he's like, "He's been towed." And he got up, jumped in his car, and ran over there. But by the time he got over there, it was the car was already gone. So they thought the car was impounded. And what it was actually the insurance company. The insurance company, State Farm, I believe, ordered that car to be taken I can't remember, to be repaired or whatever the case may be. So I would have to say within 2 weeks prior to Nancy going missing. So listen to this. This might be the kicker. What if that earlier video, they've got a car, from that what they're believing what Brian Enton believes might be a February 11th, that darker image of the guy with no backpack. What if he was there and he was in a car that time, because his car, or even the white van, because maybe his car was damaged and a friend loaned him a van or something like that, and he had a rented van for a week, or whatever the case may be. That might be the reason why there was a white van there. And then we have the what appears to be behind this assailant as being a looks like an SUV of some sort. And it looks like the way the camera is pointing is we looked at the image from an aerial view where you could see the driveway. So it looks like this car is in the driveway, but it's like at the end of the driveway, almost near the road, the way it would be sitting. And that would make sense. Somebody parking way down there and walking up and checking out the house. And that's what appears, what we think happened. Now, this right here could be a Range Rover, right? Only his mother would know if he was gone at 2 a.m. one time, or if she heard him coming in really early in the morning one time. Because he would have probably been coming, if this truly happened and it was him and he had to disappear an elderly lady, he's probably coming coming back home with his mommy's car at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Probably about the time she's getting up to start getting ready to go to work. So he's coming in with the keys. She would know that. She would know that. And I'm sorry. Now we're hearing that this interview was given at the same time that this hand was observed being swollen. And this is like a week after this event. So if he did anything to his hand wasn't even healed by the time of this interview. So this interview appears to have been provided on 4 days ago. On the 2nd, so 30 days? I don't know. I don't know if his hand would be still swollen 30 days after, unless he really injured his hand. Could he have really injured his hand to the point that 30 days later his hand is still swollen this bad? How swollen was his hand the night that they fingerprinted him? And could this just be the way he's holding his knee? You know? So I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious. At what time was the Culver SWAT? That's a good question. Great question. I should have a timeline. I can't believe I did not get the timeline prepared in this. I ended up skipping the timeline. I don't know why, but I did. This is from February 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern. SUV was seized Friday night, Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. That's creepy. Maybe he did it to get his mom, since she watched Savannah every day. Did his mom watch Savannah every day? Because somebody, I mean, let's face it. I mean, somebody did go out there and kind of deface the memorial out there. What the heck? Where did my memorial go? Oh, I don't like... Why does it do that? Dad, burn it. Let's go back, see if I can get it back up. Shoot. I don't know where it's at, but there was a memorial. I know I sent it to myself. Give me a second. I think it's the next one. Where's the Facebook? Show. Maybe this one? No, that's... Okay, well, we'll get over to Brian Enton. Where is Brian Enton? I screwed up my whole damn show here. All right, well, whatever. Let's go ahead and... Oh, here it is. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't mind me tonight. Don't mind me tonight.
Right at the time that Nancy Guthrie was abducted, I spoke with one neighbor who tells me that his Ring camera history shows as not available during the time of the Nancy Guthrie
Deanna, thank
abduction,
you.
right around that time. And also, we know that other neighbors, the FBI has been to their houses and has asked them about a possible internet outage at that time. What's interesting about this is if you look back at the surveillance photos and videos of the suspect, there's this antenna that is sticking out of the pocket, at least what appears to be an antenna. We're actually not sure what it is. It could be an antenna. I've heard some people say it's a walkie-talkie.
I remember there being something. I remember this isn't the first time we've brought up what's in his pocket. I know Brian Enton has brought up what's in his pocket weeks ago, and it was left at that. I saw Heather, is it Heather? Yeah, Heather, I saw you sent me stuff from Zach. Now, we did get a statement from Zach, and it sounds like he's not even in the States. So Zach's not really, he just happened to be somebody that worked at the dealership that sold the Range Rover to Luke or his mother, or however he got the Range Rover. You know, however the Range Rover came in their possession. They purchased it from the dealership. He happened to just work at the dealership. He wasn't even in the state at the time of any of this, and wasn't even in the state, from my understanding, when he was responding to whoever was speaking to him. But I don't think Zach is I think Zach, in all fairness, is a dead lead. He just got pulled up into this because somebody seen the name of the auto dealership on the license plate, like the little advertisement that goes around your license plate, and then they went there and they saw Zach's photo on there. Next thing you know, Zach again wasn't even in the state, from everything that we understood. So all right, so I did want to explain that, because I didn't think you must not have been here when we showed that. We do have text messages that Zach participated in for that. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Give me just a second. Let me download these, and we'll get these pushed up. I'm not really digging this Luke guy. I will tell you that. This Luke guy doesn't... something's not sitting right with me on him. I'm not completely... Again... I'm not a fan of Chris Nanos just because he keeps telling people stuff and taking that stuff back, you know? And then now he's cut off all media except to like NBC. You know, his PIO, the public information officer, won't even respond to one of my emails. And it's starting to piss me off to the point that I'm actually considering going out there. Like here I am trying to be diplomatic. I sent you a freaking email. If you do not want to respond to me, then you will deal with me in person. You know, I don't play these type of games. So, you know, it's going to be one of those things where I'm about to call down to Pima County on Monday and tell them, look, this is the deal. You guys can either start participating in some questions or just keeping me abreast or acknowledging a freaking email that I send you, or I will come down there and personally deal with my business. Now, we all can agree that you really don't want to piss me off and then send me your way. Like, everybody knows that, okay? It's not like people don't understand what gifts I've got. Just saying. Okay, I've got the gift of making people climb walls. Okay, some people got it, some people don't. Okay, I don't want to toot my own horn, but if I must, I will. Right? If I must, I will. Like, don't piss off Betty. Like, I'm trying to be nice, folks. It's like, Chris Nanos, do you really want Betty to deal with her business with you in person? I would think that the public information officer would probably, I'm just saying, you know, just might want to, you know, deal with me over the internet. Please don't make me go out there. Please don't make me go out there because I'm not nice. I mean, I am nice. I shouldn't say that. I'm professional. You guys see me. You guys see me when I'm out in the wild. When I'm on my own show, I'll tell this person to get bent, that person to get bent. We have a little hyperbole, a little F-U here, a little F-U there, you know, a little this and a little that. And then next thing you know, this is just how we go. But then you see me in front of my county commission and you hear me saying, you know, I really don't like this, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da, thank you and God bless, thank you and God bless, thank you and God bless. And that's why there's no parking on the street where she lives in the neighborhood. They're scared of Betty. They're scared of a little BHB. Aww. All right, so this is the guy. This is Luke Daly. This is Luke Daly, obviously not his most current image, but it does show a little bit of that facial hair. But I can tell you, when I remember this happening, because we were live, we were watching this live, okay? And when we were looking at him, he had a lot more facial hair. It looked a lot darker than it is here. And this is not the only thing. OG Jitterbug says, Happy Friday, Betty. I'm late, but I wanted to say I really appreciate you. We love you. Just the way you are. Love the sass. Thank you. I try to be diplomatic. Everybody tries to say I'm not a diplomatic person. I'm very diplomatic. But I have my line in the sand. It's like, you know what? How many times have I gone out there or how many times have I reached out to you diplomatically, asking politely for information? Okay? I will not be ignored. What part of this does not anybody understand? FBI should be telling me. They should be giving a pamphlet to them. We really try. We really try to keep her at home in Florida. So if she reaches out to you, just respond, okay? And keep her butt in Florida. That would make our lives a lot easier. We want Betty in Florida. We don't want her up our ass here, okay? So, do you need a pamphlet? Do we need to start making a Betty pamphlet? Okay, we'll make a Betty pamphlet and start sending it out to law enforcement and say, you know, I'm a boil and I'm hard to get rid of. You don't want the stink of her on you. Keep her in Florida. Betty be gone. We need to have some Betty be gone spray. I need to stop. I crack up myself sometimes. I crack up myself. Okay, that other We need a new Betty. Betty be gone. Oh shit, Betty. Oh shit, Betty. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. All right. Let's get back. Okay, we got to quit joking around. We're serious. Like this guy right here. Looks like a much younger, but again, we're dealing with, could he be this guy? Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Let's see what we got going on here. There we go. Well, boom. Could he be that guy? Actually, looking at him like this, they look a lot more close than not. No? The picture you have currently on the screen doesn't have a mole on his right cheek. Or maybe it could be flipped. Even though it looks like it's right cheek, some of these cameras, it's kind of hard because you don't know what the camera that he was taken. Now, could this be him with glasses? The mole, it could be, there's mirroring. So sometimes when you're taking a photo, it flips it. Yeah, it's hard to explain. It has to do with mirrorless images and stuff like that. It's camera stuff. So sometimes if it's the person, but there maybe the features not being resembled, it might be the fact that you're looking at the left side of the face and it appears like it's the right side of the face, if that makes sense. I don't know what the case may be. I'm just giving a reasonable explanation of what it could be, right? And so, is it possible? Honestly, guys, I don't know. I mean, there are some features here. And quite frankly, if my memory serves me well, if he was the one at Culver's, we're talking about a man that had dark facial hair that night. And since then has cleaned his face, has shaved all of that off to have a baby smooth face so we can't get a good look at him with his facial hair. And law enforcement didn't allow the photographers, like the photographers tried, and those FBI agents they did a great job blocking the media from getting that money shot of Luke, because they fingerprinted him right there. So, and I think they even took his clothes. I could have swore I thought he was in like a one of those white suits, but it might have been a jogging outfit that he was in. I'm not sure. But again, I do believe, he has not been cleared. Law enforcement hasn't come back out and cleared him. These are just different angles of him. This is the one that was done with the face. I'll have to fix this once I'm done with this. But this is the one that they put in the mask. Like they took the mask and overlaid this like this, and everything even the eyes kind of did. In all fairness, it lined up pretty good. But I still wasn't bought into it yet. But this whole thing about his hand being swollen, really does have me kind of thinking a little bit differently about this case than maybe that I would have, considered once upon a time. But there was something that happened out there, and I wish I had it, and it looks like I lost it. But there was an image of Nancy Guthrie's. Let me see if it's in here. Maybe it's in Tucson. Hold on. Maybe it's in Tucson. There was a point where they show this damage out in that's it right there. That's what I was talking about. Let me move on the right side here. See, that's the image that I said they lined up, and it kind of lined up pretty good as far as the eyes and the jawline coming down and stuff like that. But again, that's up for perspective, right? So The javelinas did a mess. And we got to remember that the javelinas out there too, folks, because you know what we do? Well, I shouldn't say. You know how we disappear a body here in Florida? Not like I know. I'm sorry. I sound like a homicidal freak. It has been alleged. It has been alleged that if you want to disappear a body, you take them to the pigs. You take them out to the farms. Okay, this is what I've heard. Sounds awful, but the reason why I didn't even make this until somebody just brought it up, because I was just about to say, you know, the pigs and the javelinas out there are like pigs. So it makes you wonder what could have happened and how they could. I probably shouldn't go there. That sounds awful, but you guys get what I'm getting at. And so I learned that there was some damage out there at Nancy's memorial site. And the damage, from my understanding, came after. I don't know where it's at, and I apologize, guys. So I'll just pull it back, and we'll just have a conversation. But there was a point when the memorial appeared to be damaged, and it was after Savannah, her sister, and Tommaso went out there, and it was just a few. It wasn't like completely torn apart where somebody went there. But could it have been, instead of it being somebody that did it, could it have accidentally been like wildlife? Could something had gone over there and, you know, maybe even a javelina and started chewing on the, you know, the vegetation that's out there, you know? I don't know, but people have wondered, did the person return to the scene of the crime? I hope that maybe the media turns or reviews all of their footage out there, because the chances of this person returning just to get a lay of the land, maybe even talking to news people. And we can't forget the ring, folks. There appeared to be a ring on this person's ring finger, not the pinky. It was not a pinky ring. It didn't appear to be a pinky ring. But it did appear to be a ring on the right hand. Somebody mentioned the mailman pulling up to the box. Luke has been to the memorial too. Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm still trying to figure out, because, you know, I'm really not comfortable with the whole, these weren't, I mean, even though I said I didn't feel like this was professional, which I still, just by the way they were carrying their gun, handling their business, they were resourceful. I mean, we can't look past the resourcefulness of the conduct of this person. For example, let me play this here, and this was brought up and very, very noticeable. Which one was it? I think it's the second one. I think the second one is where I'm at. Yeah. I want to show you guys something. And we've gone over this before, folks. So this is not new to this channel and what I'm about to say. But right here, you see a very casual, confident, cavalier individual. You see him up there moving. Now, every 5 seconds, that stops recording, and every time he moves, it triggers again. So if you have a phone or a blink system, you're hearing a ding, a ding, a ding, right? But what you saw here is him being comfortable around that phone, or excuse me, around that camera. You see him walking backwards. You don't see him sweating it, so to speak. He reaches down. He tries to find something to cover it up. He moves very casually back up to the camera. He's very nonchalant. in this whole time frame. And it's always bothered me as to why he's so nonchalant in this area, you know, when he doesn't know who's being dinged on the other side, or if they're on the phone calling 911 and getting law enforcement en route because they see a masked gunman on the outside of their front door. You know, he was too confident. He was too comfortable. And that's what's always never set right with me in this whole situation, is how comfortable and calm, cool, and collected he appeared to be when facing going into some stranger's house. That freaked me out, but it was very notable. What does that mean? But we didn't at the time realize that he had already been there. Maybe he already tested out to see if anybody would wake up, or how many times he could walk in front of the camera undetected at that time of night. Maybe that's exactly what they were doing, or he was doing, on February 11th, which is what Brian Enton believes. Now, it's not set in stone that this image, this darker image where he didn't have the backpack on him, it's not set in stone that he that was from February 11th. We just heard that it's most likely from a different day. Even the sheriff himself refuses to acknowledge that it is specifically from a specific day other than the night of her disappearance. But according to law enforcement sources, most likely federal sources, undisclosed sources, have probably told them that they believe, because this would be the work that they do, that they're the ones that believe that this is from a different night. And because they were looking for footage from February 11th, that is the, January 11th, I'm sorry, not February 11th, January 11th, and because they were looking for footage on January 11th, that's what Brian Enton believes, this darker image. You could see it was much, much darker that particular night than it was. So that's kind of where we're at. Stack says, what up, Mike? It's nice to see you. I see some new people in here, so it's nice to see you. Welcome. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and as many of you know, we are they call that Mexican Carrie. Yeah, no, it feels definitely like a Hispanic individual there. And I believe some of the DNA may have come back, because I've even heard like Midwest Pundit even state that the DNA is Hispanic. And I don't know what kind of sources they particularly have. But when I heard that did sound like, there is a Hispanic male. This is a Hispanic male. Now we have to understand where did this Hispanic male come from? Is he this, amateur burglar in a robbery gone wrong? Or was this a hired hand? Even hired hands are still immature and not confident in many respects, and look unprofessional, because we look at like James Bond type of professional hitmen. We don't look at the jitterbug hitmen. There are plenty of them out there that are willing to do this for $10,000-$20,000, and there's a lot of people around Nancy and Savannah's life that have that kind of money just lying around, literally like in a safe, or just in a bookshelf somewhere, just lying around. Those are the type of people that they're around, and so it makes me wonder, because this does feel personal, and even though it looks like this person was not necessarily the most familiar with the house, almost being shocked about this Ring doorbell camera, even though it appeared that they did a casing of the joint several days prior to up to a week to 2 weeks prior to this actual event. This is scary. What brought that person to the house multiple times? That's what kind of teeters away from it, because I feel like if this was an outfit that cased the joint, would they be walking up to the front door? And why would they be breaking into the house at night? Well, if they wanted stuff from inside the house, why wouldn't they do it? Why would they watch until she left the house in an Uber, or a family member came and picked her up, and then breached the house while she's gone? It just, to me, doesn't make any darn sense on what's going on here, and why they waited until the middle of the night to do this. And why did they take her out? We've watched many robberies gone wrong, and when they're met with a homeowner, they injure them or they kill them. But one thing we very rarely see them do is take the victim with them. They drop them and they're scared shitless. They run. They're gone. So, I don't know. I kind of nothing that we try to speculate here, for me, works 100%. Like, I can't play the tape through and get all the way to the end with it. Nothing. We have to speculate so much to make any theory really fit. And that's what's bothering me so much. Oh, Papa Fuss here from Laundry Case. Well, it's nice to have you. Thank you. They came at night to take her. Yeah. It does seem very, very, it seems very targeted. I mean, I don't think we've been able to shake how targeted this feels. And I think because it feels so targeted, it feels personal. And I think that maybe that assessment might be wrong. And that's why things aren't working for us. Because we have to think, because this is targeted, it must be personal. Could both be true here? Could it be targeted and not personal? Could it be like this Chilean rink, you know, of criminals? I wish I had my little... I'm starting to get cold. My shoulders are starting to get cold. I don't have anything for my shoulders. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little chilly. So, I don't know. No barking dogs, you know. People moving about. I'm not... Like, for me, having these javelinas, having those coyotes. Remember that night where you could just like, there sounded like hundreds of coyotes in the background. I'm sorry. For me, I would be almost scared. I would be almost scared to walk around at night. Okay, this person looked pretty comfortable, and you've got to think there's got to be rattlesnakes there, and many people even said maybe that's what the light was for, is to flash to make sure he's not stepping on any rattlesnakes or anything like that. But I just find it awfully interesting that somebody is just in the desert roaming around, and we have so many more crazy people literally roaming around. Put this up. Look at this. Sorry, my ears. Look at this over there, all the way to the end. Look at that in the middle of the day, this is what we expect. We expect burglars of private residents to be moving about during the day. They hit businesses at night. They hit homes during the day. That is the normal. Everybody knows if you're going to rob and you're going to hit a home, you're going to hit a private home, you're going to do it during the day, because most of the individuals are at work. Last week, my dad gone live. You could hear a lot of my dad's gone live. Dad's gone live. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Dad's gone live. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. You could hear a lot of coyotes, and it sounded like people screaming. Yes. And that's what I think I even said that. I even said, we did say that on the show, that, did you hear those coyotes? Even if she did scream, would you have ever been able to recognize her scream over the coyotes? We did make that assessment on this show early on when we heard that. And I can't remember whose live I heard that on, but these coyotes, it was beautiful to hear. I mean, I'm not going to say it wasn't beautiful to hear those coyotes. I mean, any kind of wildlife that makes noise, I think, is kind of beautiful. It's something different that we, like, I'm from Florida. We don't hear stuff like that. It had its own little, beauty to it. But again, very, very highly dangerous. I mean, they did sound like screams. And so a gal in the middle of the night screaming, I don't think you would have ever heard her with that noise. And again, who would be moving about with all that wildlife that moves about at night? Like, I would be scared to death that a coyote would tear my ass apart if I'm walking in the frickin' desert with no lights on the street. That to me is just scary. It seems dangerous. It seems, it doesn't seem practical to do, even as a robber or a burglar. It just doesn't seem practical. So I'm not convinced, guys. I'm really not convinced that Luke has no part of this. They haven't. They haven't. Did you hear about the 911 call about a lady that was in a car all dressed in black screaming close to her house? Yes, I think Keith sent that to me. Keith, didn't you send that to me? I think Keith sent, or maybe it was Tom or John. I can't remember. It was a while ago, but I didn't believe it at first. And somebody was in here and they're like, yeah, there was a dispatch of somebody screaming down the road. And I remember hearing that, but it was a little bit away from her house, but it doesn't matter. Was that her screaming? I really don't know, but I do remember hearing that. I do remember hearing it. Betty, why are the reflectors glowing on the backpack? I think it's just reflecting, because when you have that night vision, it has like a red light. And I think that red light is, because you can kind of see something glistening on his glove. Like when his glove goes up there, when he can't close his hand and it's kind of like this, like this hook, you can kind of see a light source coming off the camera. So I'm wondering if that could be it, potentially. But I really don't know. I think that's why they're reflecting, though. They sound like crying deer. Yeah. Or screaming goats. Foxes scream also. Wow. I heard the 911 call. Yeah. The infrared. Yeah, Danny says the infrared. I think that's it. I think that's it. So I'm not sure. Is it true that the lady screaming they cleared, it was a dispute? It might have been Patty. It might have been. I'm unsure. I remember hearing about it, and I remember somebody coming into the chat and telling us about it. But I don't remember where that ever led to, because sometimes we hear things for example, even in Sebastian Rogers' case with the step grandmother, Kathy Bowersox, being up at Warsham's, somebody was talking about having possible trail cams in one of the properties across the street, maybe pointing a camera in that direction, and a lady was going to go check and see if she could get some film off that, and we never heard about it again. And I've always been hopeful that maybe the reason why we never heard from her again is that they found it. They told her to keep it quiet, and I always had this hope in the back of my mind that, they did find that those trail cameras are something that could help in the case. But still, 2 years later, there's been no arrest. Sebastian's never been brought home, so I don't know. But they could have cleared it. I would think that would be one of the main things that they would try to do is determine where that call came from, who that was, and identify the subject and the victim and the lady screaming and the person driving, right? They would want to definitely do that. So it might have been cleared. They may have realized that it had nothing to do with it. We never heard any more about it. And I would have to think that if it was something legitimate, that, even at least at minimum, our social media content creators would be diving into that a little more thoroughly. So if it came up empty, it came up empty, and no good content creator will be running that theory if they know it. There's nothing. It doesn't hold water. So that could very well be it. But this is why I'm so angry with TUCSON, because we find so many of these videos that we're looking at here. Look at this. Another person covered in black from head to toe, creeping, trying to steal. This is happening all over. This is disgusting. I'm sorry, people in Arizona, I get frustrated because I'm tired. I get tired of covering these cases, and sometimes I don't speak the best or so eloquently, and I'm very controversial in some of my statements, but at the end of the day, I care about human beings. And when I see this much creeping around elderly people and family, it unnerves me. This is a total failure. This is a total failure all the way around of public safety. That is the core responsibility of our local governments, folks. I don't like being on a political banter almost every time we come live, but at the end of the day, this is scary for me. Nobody can fix this except the government, the local government. This is a local governmental problem. But all of these families, all of these people are in peril because of their policies. They're really crappy, crazy, nutbag policies that they think are kumbaya, 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 but they're attracting people like this. They're putting families in danger. A freaking grandmother was ripped out of her bed and nobody knows what the hell happened because of the policies in Arizona. And then you've got a substance abuse epidemic I'm hearing in the area. This is a failure all the way around in that community. And it scares me because, you know, we're loud, we're proud, we come in, we fight, we bring a lot of resources, we fight with governments. You know, we don't like necessarily to be fighting with governments. We'd like governments to just take constructive criticism and start putting stuff in place to keep themselves protected. But all we've heard from this community is excuses, 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 and nobody wanting to acknowledge the problem that they are creating that's making them, as well as their neighbors and other families, unsafe. What is it going to take? A child? Is it going to take a child before this community starts getting their crap together and realize the way they're living it's making them targets? Soft targets? And do you think after Nancy Guthrie that these people are going to leave people inside their homes now? No, they're going to be taking them out to the frickin' deserts and disappearing bodies if that happens, to keep their asses out of jail. That's the reality of what we're seeing here. And this is teaching other criminals how to be better criminals. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this, but I don't live there, you know, because this wouldn't be happening if I did. I would never put up with this here in my community. You know, I may be a pain in the ass, but you know what? At least people are safe, or safer. I would never say safe. I don't think I think the illusion of safety in this country, this day and age, is gone. It's gone out of my mind. I'm vigilant everywhere I go. What is safety? What's that? What's that? Oh, thank you, Aletha. Thank you. Yep. Will be copycat crimes probably. Yes. Yes. It's a problem. I'm sorry. It's just a problem. So anyways, let's move on. This is a creeper, another creeper. This is a different creeper. Look. Bye. It's mine now. See you later. That's just a handcart. It's a handcart this time. Did he need the handcart because they were about to go get a grandma that they needed to wheel out to a vehicle? I mean, we need to be thinking about that. What has been stolen in and around that property? Maybe some of the stuff, like even that gun. What if that gun was stolen from another crime? Maybe DNA is at that other crime that might help link this person. You know, I don't know what law enforcement's doing. I don't know what information they have. But let me ask you guys this, because the name of the game here is, did this assailant that snatched Nancy Guthrie, do you believe that this person came back to the property? Let's gauge the audience. We have 168 people in chat this Friday evening. Let me hear what you think. Do you believe the assailant has ever come back to that property after disappearing Miss Nancy Guthrie? 1, you do believe. 2, you don't believe. Or 3, you're not sure. Yes, 1, no, 2, 3, you don't know. Go. Do. I need to stop. Actually, let me see about, because I told you guys I'd open up the phone lines, and I haven't done that yet. I'm not really a good person. Not a good person anymore. Google Voice. We'll open it up just for a little bit. If people call, they call. If they don't, I'm not too worried about it. Let's see what your comments are. Okay, yes. Be Betty fans a 2 and no. Okay, so we have, the majority of people think that they have. We're getting some people. We're getting some people saying 2. So we're having some counter on the 2. We got a few people that don't think that the person came back. Wait, I missed it. Oh, okay, OG. Do you think the assailant came back to the property at any time after the abduction? 1, yes. 2, no. Or 3, I just don't know. Happy Blessed Nana is 3. Happy Blessed Nana is 3. Let me, where's my green screen? Okay. Oh, there we go. That's not supposed to do that. Okay, let's cut that one off. Let me get properties. I didn't like that at all. Let's go back to battery. There we go. I must have one at the very bottom. There you are. Sucker. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Oops, let me pull that down so you didn't see that. Let me pull this up so you can see that. You can see that and see that and see that. Let's put this out there. There we go. I think we got it just about right. Do we have it right? Do we have it right? Gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. Don't want to piss anybody off. Okay, folks. Maybe my head's just a little too big. I don't like how big my head looks. Let's move that now. Oh, look at that. Oh, I like that much better. Oh, look at that. Not such a big head. Not such a big head. Betty can't have a big head. Freezing. Good gracious, I'm freezing. I shouldn't have worn tank top tonight. Okay. So we do have, I did promise you guys a call-in show today. As you see at the top of this live here, or at the top of this screenshot here, you see a phone number there. I'm about to turn the phone on for each of you to call in. Where's my settings? We're going to check and make sure that we have the ringy ding dingy ding 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 ding. All right, there we go. We got this on. And let's check and make sure we got this ringing through. All right. Oh, that was quick. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from? Ah, there's our turkey man. Well, how you doing, my friend?
Well, doing fine. You asked me to quit. Let me turn my phone. Let me turn this TV down.
Sure, take your time. Take your time. Oh, there it is. We're going to hear Betty. There's Betty.
Yeah. I think I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, I'm on track. Hey, I was going to comment 2 or 3 things, and I'll get off. First of all, here a while back, I thought when I called in, or I mentioned that I thought that he was left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
If the right hand hurt, that might have been.
Maybe it was you. Maybe it was you, Turkey Man, that brought it up.
I thought he was left-handed, but everybody said, well, his gun's on this side, but his hand was injured. That leading, and using more favoring his left hand or using his left. Might have been what I was looking at. The other thing I was wondering about, why they never have given a motive. Why? And I can't get past why was she kidnapped? Because nobody's really said that. I mean, they say that they had a ransom note, but we don't know that. We hear that they was asking for a certain amount, but we really don't know that. And then I was going to ask, because I had to leave out this morning, and I was watching you, and which just broke my heart. The girls in the suitcase.
I know. Case.
What? Any update on that?
Yes, we had an arraignment of their mother. She received a $2 million bond. We heard that one of the fathers were discussing, he's been trying to get his daughter or know where his daughter has been for 6 years. I'm not really 100% all bought into that statement. But there was a third child that did not have any injuries. That third child has been taken into protective custody, and the cause and manner of death has not been released. So we did the only thing that's been released so far is that these children were half siblings. That was it. That I'm aware of.
The only thing I've seen was that you was talking that they interviewed the guy that found it
Yes.
walking his dog, and he said it was about a week.
Yes.
He'd been seeing this
mound.
Then,
this mound. He described it as a mound of dirt. So.
Well, was it not frozen at that time to even try to dig any?
I'm thinking that's the reason why a portion of the suitcase was still sticking out of the earth, is because, it sounds like one of the suitcases were a little better hidden than the other one, but the one, I would have to assume that it was because of the frozen ground. It's very hard to dig in frozen ground. And it's very cold. From my understanding, it's very cold in Cleveland, and it has been very cold in Cleveland in the weeks past.
Well, I mean, this is terrible. We've all followed the grandmother, and I just lost my mom, which was 97, and still dealing with that. But that's a hard thing to go. But putting these kids in a suitcase, and how in the world did one person get the suitcase 100 yards? Two of them. How did she?
They were on wheels, so that kind of helps a little bit. And if we have maybe children that were malnourished, that, they're a little bit lighter. But obviously she was very determined to hide the evidence.
That's another thing. You just brought that up about the weight. Do you think that Nancy walked out of the house, or do you think she was carried?
Me personally, I believe she was either dying or dead when she was taken out of the house. So I believe that the reason why we have the patterns that we do out the front door is because she was slung over somebody's shoulder, either wrapped up in something and those things were dripping. But I don't think, because I feel like her head was closer to the ground, like over his shoulder, over the shoulder, because there's a spray in one very specific area, which tells me that somebody coughed or somebody sneezed or somebody aspirated, even their last breath or whatever the case may be. But there is a force of some sort of blood spatter out on the front porch that I've had a problem with from the very beginning that we've seen it. And so I'm just one of those that believe she did not walk out on her own. I believe she was injured very, very bad, if not, dying as she was being taken out of the house. So that's just my personal opinion of it, but I got nothing to support it, to be honest. It's just an opinion.
This reminds me so much of someone that has been missing, that was missing in a car, in water. And the reason I say that, I've looked at so many cases that they just disappear. And with that being said, has anybody checked the water, or had somebody like Chaos Divers or Exploring with Nug, Venture with Purpose? There's a ton of YouTubers that does that and really successful at it, that check the water. Because that's what I guess I would think about if I was going to get rid of somebody, and it would be by putting them in an old car and run them off the bridge.
Yeah, I agree. And not only that, but how do we know that whoever did do this didn't steal a car for this? I mean, if they took the time to plan and go to the house, beforehand, we hear a lot of people that do robberies or burglaries, steal a vehicle a day or two ahead of the time that they're going to be doing the burglary or robbery. How do we know that whatever vehicle, is there a vehicle that's missing that hasn't turned up yet?
And that to me, I mean, you look at the Kylie Robertson or
Kylie Rodney is
the
case.
Rodney's case, and if you look at those cases there, they've been missing for years and years. Some of them has for years and years. and you know, maybe that's something that I haven't heard anything that was looking on, because I'll see them coming up on YouTube that they're certain, but none. And I think that that would be one of the things that I would do, because this guy, he's got to have a ping somewhere off his phone.
Yeah.
That the guy that, or the person, has got a print, a digital print from his phone that would identify that he was somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's those things. I just can't get my head around it. But this world is, as we know, we're in a war, and it's it's just things we're dealing with.
Good versus evil right now. It's breaking apart
Exactly.
everywhere we turn around.
Yeah. Well, I'll come off. I was going to give you a call, tell you
It's always
that.
nice hearing from you. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. We always keep you in our prayers, you and your family. So have a great evening, and God bless.
I'll send you Sunday's message, and
Absolutely.
God bless you.
We'll talk to you later, Turkey Man. Don't forget to tell us going out. You want to say a prayer before you leave? Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello? I guess he hung up. Anyways, guys, it's good to see you all. We have the phones open, as you guys can tell. We have some, we're just trying to check. I'm not sure I still have it open. Where's my, there it is. Okay, we do have it open. The phone number is above. Give us a call. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Mike from Wisconsin.
Hi,
I've been on your chat. I've been in your chat. You've seen my name.
Hi, Mike. You might want to turn me down in the background. I can kind of hear me kind of coming through the phones just a little bit.
For sure, I got it.
Well, how are you doing, Mike?
Mike from Wisconsin.
There you are.
I've been on your chat.
I can hear him.
I've been in your chat. You've seen my name. You got me good here?
There you go. There you go. Yes, Mike. How are you? What do you think's going on with all this?
I'm thinking it was a proxy crime. People did the research after Savannah came to Arizona for her college reunion thing. And
wait a minute. She had a college reunion?
It was part of her TV show where they sent the hosts from the show back to their home cities.
No way, because I knew she went back and she did the thing.
It happened in November. I believe it was like November 11th or November 12th. So that would have been like 3 months before this kidnapping happened.
I knew she did the whole thing back to Tucson, but I didn't know it had to do with a college reunion. Here's why. Because I always felt like this at the beginning might have been like a past grudge, a past resentment, like somebody from her past that felt like, I can't believe you left me behind. And so when I heard, this is the first time I heard that there was a college reunion as part of that. So this is important to me. Thank you for telling me that. Anyways, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just, that shocked me that might be something. Okay, go ahead.
No, we're going good. I will just say that people researched her. They found out her mother was right there in Tucson, as was shown on the show, that she ate dinner at that Mexican restaurant in Tucson, or the foothills just outside of her home. So they knew her mother had to be close to that area.
Oh, I'm liking your theory so far. It's really does.
Savannah wouldn't have taken her far away from her home to eat a lunch and then get back to doing what she has to do.
Right. You're making a lot of valid points. Lots of valid points. So you think that this was a proxy crime? This was something that somebody started researching upon her show, her arrival back into town, and kind of making it well known that she was kind of
Yep,
in the area.
I'm kind of active on the news break threads also. I have a few thousand followers on that.
Oh, nice.
People have brought that same point up, and I said if the reason she was kidnapped, it was definitely politically motivated.
Mm. But do you think she was kidnapped? Do you think this was a hit, or you do think she was kidnapped
Yep,
for profit?
yep. And I believe the first series when Brian went down to Mexico to search, I believe that we need to go with them type of leads.
So you think she's probably further south being held?
And if she's dead in Mexico somewhere, I will.
So you
that's
think
where my heart leads.
you think at least at this point she's most likely gone. No medication.
Yep, I don't think she's actually in Arizona no more.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. And Mexico is so close. And if you were, I hear that, out in those desert areas, it's so hard to find people.
There was people that showed that there is gaps in that wall too, so you don't even have to go through the main gate to cross into Nogales. You can go 8, 10, 15 miles east of there and cross without even going through customs.
Wow. So yeah, I'm always looking for an Occam's razor type of theory where you take the facts that we know them and don't have to apply so much assumption to them. So this would kind of work with that theory too. So that's interesting. Proxy crime. First time I've ever heard it presented like that. So thank you so much, Mike. Is there any other thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
Nope. I just wish any of the police that are searching good luck and hopefully no injuries, snake bites, any other sprained ankles, twisted arms, broken legs, climbing around in the mountains.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for participating. We appreciate your perspective. It was very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me talk to you. You are actually one of the first podcasters I've actually reached out and got a hold of on the phone. So thank you again.
Good. Very good. All right, Mike, take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was pretty good. And what a perspective. Something that I hadn't personally thought about. So I like those things because that's the problem I'm having is the thinking outside of the box. Sometimes we can think outside of the box, but even that, our experiences limit us in part. It limits us in part. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hi, Betty. This is Keith calling from Chicago.
Hey, Keith. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So tell me about where you're at now. I know you've been following this case pretty closely, and
yeah, but if I tell you what I know, you're gonna have to put me on mute from the conversation from everybody knowing. But I just want to say this in the chat right now. I used to work for a trucking company, which is like a trash company. Okay.
Well, you want me to hold on? Let me silence you real quick. Hold on. Let me get you off here. Let me. I don't even know if I can do that. Because I don't know, I have no way of testing to find out if you're not coming through my mic. I might have to call you back after the show. So just speak on what you're willing to speak on.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm willing to speak on is about the trash part. So I used to work for a trucking company, which is out in Arizona. It's called MBI Trucking, owned by Mr. Boats. Mm-hmm. He's very local. How trash works is it goes from a transfer station. So when they pick the trash up from front of your house, they take it to a transfer station. So black bags and like battery products and like vape pens and all that stuff gets taken out the trash because trash has elevations in it to where it gets the heat from the aluminum trailer and it can catch on fire.
Interesting.
So trash is basically sorted through 2 major times. It's sorted at the transfer station, then it's sorted at the landfill. So with a body, you won't basically a body won't be able to go inside the trash and get away with it because like the weight on the dome on when it lifts up the trash, it has a meter on it to where like if the trash is too heavy, it won't pick it up. It would just leave it there. Like that's why some people trash sometimes. It just stays there because they have too much trash in it, and it's not allowed to pick up certain weight.
Gotcha. That's good to know. That's good to know. So when it goes there, they do sort it. Is there, because, you know, there have been things that have passed through sorting. Like we did the Quentin Simon case. He was a little boy that was in a plastic bag, and he ended up going through the entire process, you know, out there before they were able to stop the process and segregate that section. Is there any way to prevent, like with your experience that you've had, you know, I've always thought, is there a way for them to start doing something, a process better, a next step to maybe try to catch if people are being thrown? It sounds so sick, but people are being thrown away.
Okay, so only way you would know that is off the livestock, is like animals and magnets. Like I don't know what type of bugs they have out there in Arizona, but we are talking about stuff that, like say somebody throw a dead cat in the trash. It's going to be a lot of magnets in the trash. You know, like it's going to be birds on top of the trash eating the magnets because it's something dead carcass in there.
Gotcha.
So that's going to give it away. But then some trash sometimes is sick. So like say if they did pick up from these transfer stations and they don't want that load to be dumped in a certain place and they have them hold it on the back, which is the company that I'm talking about, they have them hold it, but they still get paid for it. They will park it at the landfill and leave it there.
Gotcha.
And then they will dump it themselves where they want to dump it at, and they will go through it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know that that's one of the things that I learned from Joe Kenda, watching Joe Kenda, was the how further advanced than any other logistics. It's the landfills. The landfills have by far some of the most advanced logistics. Like they can tell which community, which pile of trash came from. It's pretty phenomenal.
It's all logged. Yes, it's all logged. But have you seen the last I think that was, I don't want to say it's Fox News or one of those news stations had a drone out there where they was out there and they had basically sorted the trash. The trash has come from certain neighborhoods, but I just want to say this about the story. They don't know if this person commit crimes in different counties. What I mean by that, like our counties out here, we have Will County, we have Cook County, we have Indiana, we have a lot of borders, okay, in Chicago that people know about. Chicago is big, but it's a bigger suburb than what it is bigger than the city.
Gotcha.
So crimes happen everywhere. You have people that come from the bad side of Chicago and go out to the rich people neighborhood where like Michael Jordan used to stay at and stuff like that and commit crimes. So we don't know if this person, like they keep on saying, can be local or anything like that. We don't know if he's from the border, from South Africa or anywhere else, you know, period. We don't know.
Right.
They're not letting us know that. But the theory that I do have, I can't really show it. I can't really, because I sent you the stuff that I sent you, and I know for a fact I have been figuring this case out and stand up and thinking about it, and I have my theories, and I feel like my theories are 100% right.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely something that
I don't want to get
sued.
I don't want to get sued or nothing like that. Or
okay.
Nothing or you to get sued. So if you do want to give me a call back, I'm gonna receive your call, and then I'm not gonna blow up your phone. I'm just gonna receive your call when you get off, and you can talk about it, and I'll run you down the good tea that you need to know.
Okay.
That's been
fair.
hold out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I'd like to look at some things, because I'm telling you, I'm hitting my head against a hard surface. I can't figure this out.
No, you don't have to do that. When I explain it to you, you're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah. All right, Keith. Well, I'll give you a call back when we close up this show. Give me about 20 minutes after closing, and I'll give you a ring back.
No problem. I do want to say thank you very much, and keep up the good work, and God bless you, and bring Nancy home, and bless everybody in the chat.
God bless you too. Thank you, Keith.
No problem.
Bye-bye. All right, so sorry, I wanted to make sure I got the number before he hung up so I could call him back, because nothing worse than me going, I don't remember what number it was. So that's kind of where we're at with this case, guys. We are going to close down, because I would like to hear what Keith has to say about this, because again, I am hitting my head against a hard surface. I don't know how I feel, whether I never answered my thought on it, whether I think the assailant came back to the scene of the crime or not. But depending on what type of criminal we're looking at here, I think there is a possibility that the person did come back. Maybe not after the media got there, but I feel like somebody would have drove by and saw some of the stuff going on there. Kind of like Brian Kohberger. Even though Brian Kohberger was not affiliated with this house, that side of town, or even that university, the evidence proves he even came back and drove by the house. So, based on criminal behavior, even psychopathic behavior, it's hard for me to believe he didn't come back by the house, because I feel like the person would have. So, because Brian Kohberger did. Brian Kohberger did. And I don't know of anybody that's committed a crime locally that didn't want to see what the heck was going on. So, I think maybe it might be fruitful for the media to start going back through their film and looking for, potentially gray SUVs. The person may have came back in a completely different vehicle to scope out what was going on there, after the fact. But I truly, just in my heart, my gut instinct is telling me, for me, it's just my opinion. Obviously, we don't know. But my gut instinct is telling me the person came back. I would like to see the FBI pull a CART team for the 2 weeks after her abduction or kidnapping, and I'd like them to eliminate all the media out there and see who we have left. They need to thoroughly investigate the neighbors as well. So it could potentially be multiple theories here. What theory is going to hold true. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Thanks for participating. What a great show. Again, I love the call-in shows. They really kind of let us bond together, let us listen to perspectives, let us ask questions. It gets a little difficult when you're in chat, you're going back and forth, you hear something, then you have to ask the question. You got to wait for the response. And kind of when you get to call in, and we're going to be bringing some panels back. I just got to figure out how to do it on the new OBS system. So once I get that, we're going to be pulling up panels so people can come up here and talk, and then you, the audience, can probably ask them questions directly, which I think would be absolutely awesome, right? Just awesome. So we're going to keep working at it. We're going to keep building the studio. I'm loving it. We still got our equipment here. We got our power cord. It came in while I was gone. We're waiting for our new camera. It's coming from China because I'm a dumbass. See, I don't just call everybody else a dumbass either, okay? I'm an equal opportunity asshole. Excuse my language, turkey man, but I am. At least I don't lie. At least I'm honest. I justify. I testify and I justify. If anything, if Betty's good at anything, it's testifying and justifying, okay? So we've got our encoder. This right here, is very, very, a very expensive product. Very expensive. High quality, very expensive product right here. It's so expensive you would not believe it. You literally would not believe it. It gave me a heart attack to buy this. And we didn't buy it. Thank you, Oven Baby. God bless you. This is Oven Baby. We got the camera coming in, and then that'll be up and running, and then I'm going to be building. I got to force myself. You know me. I'm such a procrastinator. So I've got to force myself to build the website. We will get the website built. We will get the website built. We will get the new studio. We even got new lighting. Like, everything's going to change, folks. Everything's going to change. And we lost the haze. Remember I cut off. You can see I cut off the green screen. I'd like the whole thing to be a green screen. Like, I'd like my arms not to cut off. So, maybe we'll work on a new green screen later. The green screen is the cheapest thing, right? I don't really care, but it just needs to be longer. I need the stand that goes, the extend stand. I got plenty of curtains. I got plenty of green screens. I don't need any more green screens. I need the stand. So that's probably what we'll get next. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow is Delilah's day. Yes, we're going to be up super early. We're only doing 2 shows tomorrow, one extremely early, probably around 7 a.m., and then the other one around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So I will see you tomorrow. As you hear, Delilah is ready. She can't play BALL because it's already too dark, but she does want to go see Emily before we go to bed. So I'm going to take her across the street so she can see her friend, and we will see you first thing in the morning. God bless everybody. Until next time, please be yourself.